Hello friends, welcome to our channel Creating Essence. I am Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by today. It has been 1 week since this little sunshine over here was born, and we just wanted to check in and give you all an update. Firstly, I want to thank you all so much for your love and support and your concern after our birth story. It was really touching, the outpouring of love and prayers. And one of the very first questions that we had asked a lot was, how am I doing now? I am doing better. As far as typical postpartum things, I'm doing well. My body is recovering for the most part pretty well. As far as the blood loss issues, that's going to be a long road. I've been told it will probably take about 6 to 8 weeks to fully regain all of my stamina and blood supply and basically everything that was depleted from me as a result of the blood loss. I'm sleeping all right at night. Kind of depends on the night. Sometimes she's up 2 or 3 times. Sometimes she's up 5 or 6 times. I don't really mind whichever. However many times she needs to eat, that's how many times she needs to eat. Josh is really wonderful and supportive, and a lot of times when she's getting up more frequently than once or twice, he will just take her as soon as she's done eating and take care of the changing and the burping and getting her back to sleep, which is really a blessing. Every once in a while she has a bit of a wakeful period during the night where she's wide awake and not ready to snuggle back in and go back to sleep, and he will just stay up with her. She had one of those last night, and when I woke up about 4 hours later, it was the cutest thing. I just had to take a picture. She really is such a daddy's girl. It was the funniest thing when she was born. As soon as she heard his voice, she turned her head toward his voice because she recognized it. Then when I was in the hospital, and he was the primary caregiver for both of us, she had a lot of extra bonding time with him, and it shows because she's very attached to her daddy already. It's so sweet. It doesn't matter what I'm doing or saying. If she's awake and she hears his voice, she turns her head in that direction and looks for him. She loves to nuzzle his face. She loves his beard. It is just the sweetest thing. Yesterday we posted on Facebook and Instagram asking if anybody had questions, and aside from the question that was asked over and over again about how I'm doing, there were quite a few other questions. So I'm going to go ahead and read them off and answer them for you. Which one of your other babies does she favor the most at this age? We see a lot of Solomon and a lot of Annie, which they look kind of similar. But a lot of people say they see a lot of Aaron too, which is funny because Solomon and Annie look like my husband, and Aaron looks exactly like my side of the family. So we know for sure, obviously she has Josh's black hair and olive skin tone, but she has my really wide set eyes, which seems to be the kind of dominating facial feature at this point. She's just starting to get, unwrinkled and less red, so I guess we'll see over time who she really looks like. A few people have said she also looks like Gabe, which he's my other kiddo that has the really wide set eyes like I do, so that makes sense. One question was, how is Josh doing with the household responsibilities? Josh is doing amazing. He has totally impressed me. Our small group from church, which has become like a family to us, and really stepped in incredible ways when Giovanna was born, has been setting up meals for us every night. So we really haven't had to cook dinner since Giovanna was born. They have organized the efforts with most other people who want to bring us a meal. A few people who are sweet friends have texted us and said, hey, can I bring you a meal? When's a good night? But we are really, really blessed to have a handful of people who have done that for us. So that's been a great help to him. But the rest of the things, he has done so well. He works really hard to try to keep things picked up, keep the laundry done, make sure I'm staying off my feet. And today is Tuesday. Just yesterday on Monday, we got back into the swing of schoolwork, and he has worked really diligently to make sure the kids stay on schedule and on task. He doesn't necessarily know how to do the whole homeschooling thing, but he's very eager to try. And I have no problems with the kids bringing questions to me, coming in my room and asking questions, giving spelling tests, you know, different things like that I can very easily do from my bed. But he has just been amazing at all the things. The garden has kind of been abandoned, which is fine. I kind of knew that would happen, which is why, you know, it was a bittersweet thing that it wasn't a huge success this year, because I knew it was not going to be able to be given the attention it needed this month with me having the baby. That's all right. But all the animals are well cared for, the children are well cared for, I am being very well cared for, and everybody's eating well and the house is clean. I could not ask for anything more than that. Another question was, do the dogs bother her? No, the dogs do not bother her a bit. She does not flinch. She can be sleeping in the living room with all sorts of sibling noise around her. Yesterday morning, she was asleep beside me in the living room, and Gabe started vacuuming, and then the dogs started wrestling and barking at each other. She did not even flinch her eyes with the noise. She just didn't care. This is the noise that she grew in my belly to. It's basically like her white noise. It's dogs barking and kids bickering. Another question is, how are the kids doing with her? Annie, Gabe, and Ella are fantastic. They want to hold her and snuggle her any chance they get. They come in here often just to check in with me, ask how I'm doing, ask if they can refill my water, and just see her little face and see what she's up to. Aaron is doing really well too. He doesn't really have an interest in holding her, but he does like to come in and look at her and check in on her and stuff. Solly is kind of afraid of her. He doesn't want to touch her. I think Ella was like this when Solly was born and she was around that age. I think it's just they're so small, it's intimidating. Which parent do you think she looks most like? I feel like she's a good mix. I kind of already touched on this, but she overwhelmingly has Josh's hair and complexion. Josh and I both have brown, green, hazel eyes, and she has gray eyes, which is what our two babies with hazel eyes were born with. So we'll see, but she does have a few of my features too, so she's kind of a good mix of the two of us. Do you think she will be your last baby? Overwhelmingly yes. Biologically, she absolutely will. For a lot of reasons, I will not be having any more babies, and it's kind of a hard thing for me to talk about right now. Maybe I'll write about it on my website so that I can get my feelings out a little more smoothly and clearly, but yes, she will 100% be your last baby. Is she a good burper? She's a terrible burper. She's terrible. She doesn't like to burp, and she seems to fight it. Like she squirms and she kind of like tucks her chin. You can hear it like trying to come up in her throat, like she doesn't want to let it. And then sometimes she'll have really violent burps because she's been fighting against it, and then she throws up, like really throws up. Other than that, she doesn't even spit up. But yeah, she's not a good burper. We are getting into the chiropractor this week, both her and I, for postpartum adjustment. And I'm really hoping that that helps, because when Solomon had troubles with burping and stuff like that when he was first born, a chiropractic adjustment did wonders for his digestive system. So I'm very hopeful that that will help. In the meantime, we're just doing our best to try to help her get those air bubbles out after every feeding. And when she gets obviously uncomfortable, a little bit of natural gripe water seems to do the trick to calm things down for her. Her and Evie going to be BFFs. My little girl is super duper blessed in that she has 2 built-in best friends named Evelyn. We have 2 friends that are very close to us who have had babies in the last, one was about 8 weeks ago and one was actually 10 days before Giovanna was born. And both of them named their beautiful little girls Evelyn. So she already has some built-in besties, and 2 of them are both named Evelyn. So yes, she and Evie will absolutely be BFFs. I'm sure they'll be knitting together in no time. And that's it for the questions that you all have asked. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. We are happy to answer. If you have any questions specifically for Josh or the kids or whatever, ask away. We're happy to answer. Really grateful that you all love and support our family so much, and we're happy to let you know what's going on here. Thank you so much for being here with me today. As always, if you liked our video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hang out for more. We'll see you again soon.